Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Sir, what is the difference between old generation and this generation?
Very clear, you understand now. Old generation is the offline generation, while this generation is the online generation. Old generation believe that education is the key, while this generation believes that school na scam. Old generation believe that doing the right thing is the right thing, while this generation believe that doing the wrong thing is the right thing. My brother, do you know that in this our generation, the numbers of divorce certificate is more than the numbers of marriage certificate? Hey! In this generation, disgrace and insanity is celebrated and respected, while honesty, dignity, and integrity is mocked and ridiculed. This is the generation where paragons and faces of immorality and lack of decency are not celebrated as kings and queens on social media. My brother, this generation turned gluttony into foodie, promiscuities into sexual liberation, nudity into body positivity, and disgrace into faith. This generation turned blood money into hustle. They turned drug abuse into having fun. They turned courtesan into protection. They turned lack of good behavior into nonsense zodiac sign. You know that they turn prostitution into runs. They turn accountability into do what makes you happy. They turn laziness into I can't come and kill myself. This is a generation that want to sleep in Delilah's bed but wake up from Abraham's bosom. This is a generation of do what makes you happy even when others are dying from it. A generation of mind your business even when it is disturbing the sanity of others. A generation of calm down and cash cruise even when it is making the society unbearable for others. A generation where ritualists cannot raise their heads in public and clean hustlers hide their heads from mockery. A generation where the masses fight the masses for fighting the government that is oppressing the masses.
What did you talk?
A generation where you cannot preach God because you'll be called holier than thou or assistant Jesus. A generation where a man of God is to see a vision for you, but you need to see a vision to know if the man of God is a real man of God. But the capital of them all, the general overseer of them all is the next generation. Do you know my greatest fear is how can we raise the next generation of this generation? Because if this generation continue like this to raise the next generation, that would be a degeneration. That is why I always ask this question: which society are we going to raise our children? Because they can listen to their parents offline but disobey their parents online. My brother, while you are trying to raise your children in the ways of God, the devils online are waiting for your children on social media to erase what you have raised. Do you know that with the rate of the voice in our country today, to celebrate 2 years of marriage, it's like celebrating 20 years of marriage because for marriage, no, they would the last 1 hour again. Honoring 90 minutes, one person must cut the game.
Not be juju be that.
Do you know that a friend of mine was quarreling with me that why am I still wearing the agbada I should be of his marriage when I know that him and his wife are no longer together? I say, show agbada material will buy 30K, which means the agbada material last past his marriage. He sold an original agbada material and married a fake wife material. Hey! Do you know that with the rate of DNA tests in this generation, in the next generation, family will not be able to donate blood to family members because you may not be your brother's brother and you may not be your sister's sisters who will not be our brother's keeper. Do you know that in the old generation, people wear clothes and underwear under? In this generation, we wear underwears as clothes. In the next generation, no clothes, no underwear. Breast and prick and yash everywhere. Oh! Hey! So if you can celebrate and embrace disgrace in this generation, which means in the next generation, abomination and taboo will be the order of the day.
What?
If this generation can subscribe to watch infidelity on national TV, grant them interviews, and even make them brand ambassadors, which means in the next generation, infidelity and adultery will be a ministry on its own to support and promote sex tape, sex video, leak videos, and otherwise. Huh? If this generation can start bleaching newborn babies, which means in the next generation, mothers will start drinking bleaching cream and organics to bleach the children from the womb. My brother, according to Sigmund Freud, a man is born with the mind of a tabula rasa, which means a man is born with a plain mind and a man learned through imitation. So it is what the next generation will meet that they will grow with. So the next generation is the government of them all. The next generation is the general overseer of them all. The next generation does not live in Nigeria. The next generation lives in our hands. Now the question is, in which society are we going to raise our children? Another question is the devil winning? Thank you.